Pastor's Corner. Like I said, for the last while, we were looking and exploring this idea of righteousness and justice. And as we do that in this devotional series, we're just going to learn more about God's passion and desire for righteousness and justice, and what that means for you and for me, for people who call ourselves Christians, and how we live out this faith. I just want to read from you for you, Psalm 146. It says this: He upholds the cause of the oppressed and gives food to the hungry. The Lord sets prisoners free, and the Lord gives sight to the blind. The Lord lifts up those who are bowed down, and the Lord loves the righteous. The Lord watches over the foreigner and sustains the fatherless and the widow, but he frustrates the way of the wicked. Jeremiah 22 verse 3 also says this: This is what the Lord says: Do what is just and right. Rescue from the hand of the oppressor the one who has been robbed. Do no wrong or violence to the foreigner, the fatherless, or the widow, and do not shed innocent blood in this place. As I think about these passages, again, I'm just reminded of a simple concept and a simple idea. God is expressing to us what he's passionate about. God is telling us what he's concerned about, what he cares about. And he cares so much about justice, and he cares so much about righteousness. And if that's what God is desiring and that's what God is passionate about, what does it mean for me as a person who is a Christian, who follows Jesus Christ, who follows God himself? It means this: that if that's what my God is passionate about, that is supposed to be what I should be caring about and thinking about too. That if God would be so upset with people who would oppress, that I too would take up the same cause of God and be upset with those who oppress. And that if God cares enough to lift up those who are being put down, those who are without rights, those who are without privilege, that I'm also called then as a Christian to lift up those who are without rights and those who are without privilege, to journey alongside them. And so this devotion really, for me, is just a simple reminder. Go back and see what God is passionate about. And a lot of times people talk about how God is loving and God is holy. We forget sometimes about his great and deep passion for righteousness and justice. And that if that is his great and deep passion, that deep passion is supposed to translate to the people, to us who call ourselves followers of Jesus. So how are we doing with that? Are we coming alongside people, or are we part of the system and process that oppresses others? Are we part of a church community that would exclude others and put others down as a result? Or are we part of what God is really passionate about, to lift up those who are voiceless, to lift up those who are powerless? After all, Jesus did remind us to love God with all our heart, mind, soul, and strength, and to love your neighbor as yourself. These are his greatest commandments. And really, the call is, are we going to do that? And so this is just, for me, a simple, constant reminder that I would think about how every action or inaction I take, does it contribute to the oppression of others? Or does it contribute to lifting up others? Does my actions dictate or show and demonstrate that I care about what God cares about, righteousness and justice? Or do I simply allow righteousness and justice to go unchecked and be a cause of that system of oppression? So that's it for me this week on Pastor's Corner. Love and peace. We'll see you next time.